Rumble Kids, 4 Gospel Music Award nominations, and a great story. And here are the people to tell us all about this delightful group of children from Etobicoke. Jess and Dave DiSabatino are both pastors. The church is Liberty International Church in Toronto. And Rumble Kids has been around for how long?
Oh, wow.
I think we're going on our 5th season now.
5th. You're becoming a Christmas tradition here. I love this. We've got Jesus is the gift. When asked, what has Jesus done? Dave, you said, he's given me 1,000,000 second chances. Jess, do you remember what you said? He's been my peace every step of the way. We've just been talking about that peace. And you're saying you've had it every step through lots of ups and downs. But let's start with congratulations, because you're coming to us this year, first Christmas in your new building, your new church building.
Right. Absolutely, yeah. We've just been there 1 year in a brand new facility, and we're so excited what God's been doing in our community and in our church family. Pretty amazing.
Now, you've been missionaries in Asia. I know that's where God began to kindle a vision. But this project, you were told, was impossible. At least many people said you're barking up the wrong tree. Tell us what God committed you to do and why it seemed so undoable.
You know, I think it's hard to bring people from all walks of life together. You have so many different social issues, so many different economic issues. Bringing them together, people say it is a very difficult thing to do. And I would say you're probably right. It is very difficult. It's challenging. But with God's help, we've been able to do some incredible things. And we see that day in, day out, God's goodness in our community.
Jess, how did you get a grip on this? How did you begin to plow the soil there in Etobicoke and reach these children?
I think we didn't have any kids in our church at all. I was pregnant at the time when we first came to our church, and we thought, we knew that there were lots of kids in our community. We knew that there was a 70% dropout rate in high school, and 70% in our immediate neighborhood. And so we began to think to ourselves, what can we do that will bring both the gospel to kids and then also give them skills that they can use for the rest of their lives? And so we thought we'd have 5 people. We put a few signs up, and we very first year had 85 kids in this tiny little room, no bigger than a closet. It seemed like a closet. The windows would steam, and so since that time we've had a waiting list for kids that will be part
to join Rumble Kids.
To join Rumble Kids,
which is part of the church.
Which is part of the church, right?
Now, how did you sell it? What did you offer them? What were they coming to?
They were coming to sing. They were coming to sing, to a singing and dance group.
Singing and dance.
Yeah, and we just said that this will be a chance for you to learn how to sing, how to dance, and how to public speak. And if this was really all in faith, because I don't dance. If you've seen me dance, you'll never want to see me dance again. And Dave doesn't dance. No. But God brought us all the right people and all the right ingredients. And since that time, we've had just tremendous favor from the community, and that's brought families who initially just maybe came so that their kids could get free singing lessons or free dance lessons, but then their families are impacted by the gospel. Children are going home and singing these songs and listening to the CDs, and moms and dads are coming to know Jesus, and so it's been really awesome.
CDs. Now, I'm holding one here, just Rumble Kids. That was plural. Do you have other CDs?
No, just Rumble Kids.
This is your...
Yeah, this is the group called Rumble Kids.
Rumble Kids. And I didn't realize this group, how many do we have here today? About 15?
15. Yeah, but we're much larger.
And this is what percentage of Rumble Kids?
This is a small percentage of them, so yeah, it's a fight to see who will get to come.
I said, oh boy, knowing they're coming to Huntley Street.
Yeah.
They have to audition all over again or draw straws?
Yes, just based on attendance and all kinds of fun things like that.
How did this become your passion? Social justice, reaching out to the poor. Did this happen before you met each other?
I think we've always seen there's such a desperation in our country. You know, it's easy sometimes to think overseas, and it's the first thing I thought of when I thought of missions, when I thought of people in need. But we just opened our eyes a little bit more.
And you didn't just think about it, Dave. You were in Asia.
Yeah, we were in Asia, and God had clearly called us from that scenario back to Canada, back to Toronto, where we knew all walks of life, all nations were coming to, and different backgrounds, different people, but there was a purpose that God had designed for this community, for these people, and that's what we've seen.
I think for me, I was an inner city teacher in the United States, where urban poverty is very much in your face. I taught in schools where most kids were coming from nothing, and I began to think about the country of Canada that I grew up in, and thinking how oftentimes poverty can be guised in Toronto, in Canada in general. But as I came home and began to scratch the surface, we realized that poverty is just underneath the surface, and there are people living in extreme desperation. I mean, and in many cases, it's the same desperation that people live in third world countries. You're still optionless. Children are still optionless. They're still going to bed hungry. They're not getting the right food. They're growing up with no hope. And so we became very committed to being a voice for voiceless people. And really that's what the Rumble Kids have become, is a voice to the voiceless. And we continue to tell them, you might be in a bad situation. Your family might not be in a good situation, but it is incumbent on you, even at 9 or 10 or 11 years old, to be a voice for voiceless people. And so part of our job is to empower children and to empower evangelicals to stand up for the poor, because I just think Jesus makes a difference to all parts of our life. He really does.
As we've already been saying this hour, it's been heartbreaking to hear about the letters to Santa this year, especially in the United States.
Yeah.
Thousands and thousands from children and often single mothers. Asking for sneakers, asking for a coat. Sometimes it's a PS and maybe a toy. They just have basic needs that are not being met. And wonderfully, as the need is made known, people who have caring, sensitive hearts are responding, but it needs to be happening more. As a teacher, I'm sure you feel the despair you did in the classroom when you know you've got them for that time, but then you're sending them home to an unchanging circumstance, and you feel powerless to impact it. But not here.
Right.
What did you do last week for Christmas?
Well, we had an incredible event where our community just got involved, where we said to our church, listen, there are so many needs in our city. What can we do to help? And so we packed out the church, and we gave out hundreds of gifts to families in need. And some of those families, we could just see their faces change on that Sunday morning, where they saw a performance by the Rumble Kids. But they had an opportunity to get something, and just a little tangible gift, a little gift in their hands, but it meant something much more to them. So this was our way of saying, listen, people care about you. More importantly, Jesus cares about you. He is the greatest gift. And there's something that he has in store for your life if you just give him a chance. And so we had an opportunity to just bless a community and just see Jesus do something incredible in the lives of people.
How do people get on board with your vision?
Yeah, we definitely need lots of people to get on board. The easiest way, it really is just to connect with us. Rumble Kids website, our rumblekids.ca, and find out how you can partner. Find out how you can be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And just getting more people involved in the cause of eliminating child hunger and child poverty in Canada. There's so much more we can do.
Well, and how appropriate this Christmas. Jess, do you want to tell us your news?
Well, I am expecting my third baby. I'm trying to cover it up today. I'm getting less
You are neat as a pin.
That.
I look that big at about 2 months. You're due in March?
I am due in March, yeah.
Do you know if it's a boy or a girl?
It is a boy. So for everyone who didn't know, I guess now they know. Yeah, we're excited.
And can Rumble Kids grow as well? Have you room to expand?
We do. We have 2 auditioning times now. We used to let kids join all the time, but then we were too big. So now kids can join the first week in September and the first week in January. We have an audition time, and So if there are kids in the area that would like to join, we do have open auditions.
And how often do those kids come together to rehearse?
We rehearse at least once a week. We have a set rehearsal once a week, and then there are voice lessons and music lessons throughout the week on instruments and vocal.
And is there a cost to them?
No, it's a free program. It's a free program. So we rely on people who get a vision for what we're doing, because it's more than just about singing. I mean, the singing is nice, but really this is about developing leaders for the 21st century. I say to the kids all the time, I don't really care if you sing at the end of the day. What I care about is that you become godly men and women who rise up and lead our country. And so we just are. We believe that some of these kids are going to be the next leaders of Canada. I absolutely believe it. And I just try to say to them, it doesn't matter what kind of a background you're from. It doesn't matter if your parents are in jail or your mom is a prostitute. You can do something with your life. God has an amazing plan and a destiny for your life. And we're believing that as we speak that into their life every week for the next 10 or 15 years of their life, that all of a sudden they're going to wake up and be 21 and be in places of leadership in our country.
Dignity and identity and purpose, and you can see it in them when they sing, and they're going to do that in just a moment. I have to ask about the shoes. What do you call the shoes? What do you call the shoes they wear? Most of them are the high cut.
Oh, yeah.
You guys don't know either, do you?
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm out to lunch. I tell them that they make me cool now. It is. They look at my outfit and say, 80s often. So, yes, yeah, their shoes are cool.
Well, wait.